The man next door smiles every morning, but I've never seen him leave his house. So, I, 29F, moved to this small Belgian town about 3 months ago. It's the kind of quiet place where people still say bonjour to strangers and the church bells tell you the time better than any watch. I rent a small terraced house at the end of a cobbled street lined with flowers and old bicycles leaning against walls. It's peaceful. Almost too peaceful. But from the very first morning, something felt off. My kitchen window faces the house next door, a tidy little home with green shutters and lace curtains. Around 7:30 every morning, without fail, the curtain shifts. And there he is, an older man, maybe in his late 60s, standing by the window, smiling. Not a creepy smile. More like one of those gentle, knowing smiles you'd expect from a grandfather watching his grandchildren play. I'd smile back, maybe wave a little, and then he'd pull the curtain closed again. Every single morning. After a week, I realized I'd never seen him anywhere else. Not outside. Not shopping. Not walking down the street. Nothing. I started noticing details. His garden, for example. It's perfect. Fresh flowers, trimmed hedges, no weeds in sight. Yet I've never once seen anyone tending to it. One evening, I asked my neighbor across the street, an older woman named Claire, if she knew anything about him. She just gave me this small smile and said quietly, "Oh, you mean Monsieur Duval. He's been there longer than anyone, dear. Keeps to himself. Always smiling." I pressed a bit. "Does he ever go out?" Claire frowned. "Not that I've seen. Poor man lost his wife. Oh, it must be 20 years now. Such a shame." I felt bad. Maybe he was just lonely. Maybe that smile every morning was his way of saying hello to the world. Then last week, there was a storm. A bad one. The power went out on the entire street. I was standing by my window, wrapped in a blanket, watching the rain pour down, when I noticed something strange. Every house was dark, except his. His window glowed a warm yellow, like candlelight. And through the rain, I could swear I heard faint music, something classical, maybe Chopin. The next morning, same thing. Curtain opens. He smiles. Curtain closes. Routine, as always. Except this time, I waved. Properly waved, like a neighbor trying to be friendly. He didn't move. Didn't blink. Just stood there, smiling. And he stayed like that for almost a full minute. I laughed it off, told myself it was weird timing, maybe he didn't see me. But the image of that unmoving smile stayed in my head all day. The next morning, curiosity got the better of me. I walked up to his front gate. His garden was silent, not even the usual birds around. I called out a polite, "Bonjour, Monsieur Duval." No answer. Up close, I saw that his mailbox was overflowing. Letters yellowed by sun, magazines from who knows when. Some of the postmarks looked years old. I hesitated, then knocked on the door. Nothing. Not even a sound. And then I noticed the window. The same one where he always smiled. Something about it looked wrong. The glass didn't reflect properly. The light wasn't natural. I stepped closer, and my stomach dropped. It wasn't a real person. It was a photograph. A life-sized printed image of a man smiling through the window. Perfectly placed. Perfectly lit. Someone had put it there deliberately. I stumbled back, heart pounding. Who would do that? Why? I ran to Claire's house, told her everything. She just looked pale and said, "That can't be. They found Monsieur Duval in that house 2 years ago. He'd passed away quietly in his sleep." Apparently, the house was supposed to be empty. But every morning since then, at exactly 7:30, that curtain still moves. And he still smiles. TLDR, my neighbor smiled at his window every morning, but no one ever saw him leave the house. When I went to check, I discovered the man was just a photo, and the real owner had died 2 years ago.